What is next we should know about? Next is filmmaking is a multitasking. What is multitasking? As I told you earlier, it's a collaborative effort. It's a collaborative work to make a film. Multitasking, what do I mean is, if you want to become a filmmaker, it is not just saying at the set, lights on, roll sound, roll camera, action, cut. That is not the job of a director. A director has to do real multitasking, especially in today's digital world when people want to make simple, low budget films. A director has to be a real multitasker. Let's look at it in detail. You remember I once told there are films, wonderful films made by a one-man crew. I will come to that a little later now, after explaining what do I mean by multitasking. To make any simple film today, you have a beautiful story script for a 10-minute short film which you have been dying to make and upload it on YouTube and share it in your social network, so that you expect that you would be recognized as a filmmaker, that to international filmmaker, because you are so confident about your beautiful short story, the idea you have. Okay, for that the story might take place in one location or two locations or three or four locations. So now you have to find all these 3-4 locations. To make a film, the minimum crew to make any short film is 5 to 6 people. Without 5 to 6 member crew, it's impossible to make a film today. You are the director, you may do the production manager job, you might do all the pre-production work, but still you are one person. To handle the camera, most cases directors do not handle camera, very rare directors themselves handle the camera. So you need a camera person. 2. Done. Depending on the camera, other rigs, other gadgets you want for the shoot, you need 1 or 2 more persons to take care of those equipments. Done. You have to do live sound. Today, whether you like it or not, whether you are willing to do it or not, internationally, to make any fiction film, the sound has to be live. Of course, in India still lots of us are making, not making live sound films. We always do the dubbing, but still we do record some sound live as a pilot track. So to do that live sound or the pilot track recording, you need 1 sound person or maybe more than 1 sound person. Of course, you need actors. Depending on your script, you need 2, 3, 4, 5 actors. So just imagine, a minimum crew member will be 5 to 10 for a simple short film. So this is what I mean. Okay, I mean, what about films that are made with a single person, single man crew, single member crew? Of course, it's an exception. Not everyone can make that. That's not the rule. That's a real exception. For example, there was a filmmaker called Jafar Panahi from Iran. He was a very well-known filmmaker. Then, like many other Iranian filmmakers, he was also anti-establishment, anti-government. So obviously he was exiled, then he was arrested, then he was put in house arrest. But he was in house arrest for years. But being a filmmaker, he can't be idle. One convenience he had when he was in house arrest, he had his camera, edit system, everything at his house. You know what he did? He took his camera, put it on a tripod, and he talked to the camera. He shot the entire house in and around with the camera, and he shot many objects in the house. Again he talked to the camera over a period of time. Then he sat and edited the whole thing on his laptop, and he brought out a story. He edited that entire footages onto a feature length film, 80-90 minutes long. It became a feature film. And even he put some music from the system. And he titled the film this is not a film. That's the title of the film. And after the edit, he took a MP4 version. I put that MP4 version onto a pen drive. That pen drive was hidden in a birthday cake. The birthday cake was smuggled out to Cannes Film Festival, and there the pen drive was pulled out and his film was shown in the Cannes Film Festival without his presence. The government was shocked. My God, we put him in house arrest. That fellow made a film and sent to International Film Festival. Now that film is so popular. Like that, quite a few others also made a film. There's one beautiful documentary made in India by Gaurav Jani. It's called Riding to the Top of the World. You know when was this made? Not recently. This film was made in 2005. That film was shot by one-man crew. The director, producer, cameraman, all one man, sound recordist, even actor at times. That was the beginning of the new small digital cameras. I think still it was a tape cameras those days, 2005. The camera like P1 was just arrived. He bought a new P1 camera. Panadan, he's a rider. He loves bike riding. So he set up his bike, 350cc bike, he customized to place his camera, other all rigs, and he wanted to travel to top of the Himalayas at a particular plateau where a particular tribe was living. That's a tribe that lived the highest plane in the world. So he wanted to go meet them, to talk to them. So he left from Delhi, he went to Kulu Manali. From Kulu Manali he started a journey. 50 days he spent in the journey, crossing very difficult parts of the Himalayas, some parts of China, where some of the portions he traveled where there was no oxygen. If he had died, nobody would have even noticed him for years to come, because no human beings passed that passage. But still he took all the risk, and beautifully, even when he was riding on a ghat road, he would place his camera at the top of a hill or a point where he will shoot the circling ghat road, and he will switch on the camera, then he will take his bike down, and again he will come back, cross the camera, stop the bike, look into the camera, oh, it's still running, and switch off the camera. In that footage he will use only for a few seconds. Like that he shot. At a place he will place the camera, he will stand in front of the camera and talk to the camera. It's a beautiful film. In fact, that film was shown by many international channels. Like that, if you see that film, even you might be tempted to make a film. But that's not common. That's not a rule. So this is what I meant sometime in the beginning. There are films made with a one-man crew. But basically the kind of films you are talking about, or the kind of story films you are thinking about, which you want to make, or you need a minimum 5 to 20 member crew to make that film. So it's very important, multitasking. The smaller the crew, each crew member have to do multitasking. So you should be prepared to do the multitasking. It's not just director means sitting in a chair and saying start, cut. You should know to do some production work, you should know to record sound. Sometimes you may have to handle the camera, sometimes you have to help the cameraman, sometimes you may have to act yourself. This is another new thing when we discuss about filmmaking in 2018.